journey started in my junior year of high school. COVID hit, and there was one local church that stayed open, and they had a youth group where they happened to bring in pretty regularly YWAM teams to come speak and share testimony and minister. And they would take us evangelizing, and I would hear their stories, and I said, God, that's what I want to do. And he said, okay, go do it. So I signed up to do a discipleship training school, and 3 days after I graduated, I drove down to California to YWAM Yosemite and started my DTS. During the school, God stirred up my faith, pushed me in my faith. I started feeling strong conviction and calling to give my whole life to do ministry and to make ministry a lifelong thing, not just a 6-month school. I graduated after outreaching to Armenia, and I did another YWAM school on supernatural ministry, and we outreached to India, and it was awesome. And then I was asked to come and help pioneer YWAM Santa Cruz. And I said yes, and I've been here the last 3 years. I've staffed a few discipleship training schools, and now my wife and I are focused on local outreach to the homeless and reaching the youth of Santa Cruz County.
My YWAM journey started in 2018. I was going to a young adults group in San Jose, and I had a few friends who had just come back from their DTS, and they were like, Rachel, you would really love this thing, you should go do it. I had known kind of about YWAM from my sister. She had mentioned it when I was in high school, but did not know the details of it. So when I signed up, I didn't really know what I was getting myself into, but I knew that I loved mission work, and so I wanted to go do this school for the missions aspect. But in reality, I really loved the lecture portion of the school. It really shaped me and my faith. But I went to YWAM Kansas City. I did my DTS there in 2018. I came back home to California and I worked for a bit. I did one more semester in junior college, and then felt the Lord lead me to go join the staff team at YWAM Maui. And so I joined their staff team. I ended up doing my school worship over there as well. So I staffed and did the school, and after 2 years being there, I got the opportunity to come here to help with YWAM Santa Cruz. So I've been here for now a little over 3 years and been helping with the DTS programs and now help oversee the local outreach.
My faith has been the biggest thing that has kept me going. First of all, stepping out in faith financially. As a staff in YWAM, we have to raise all of our monthly support to live off of. And so when I first came on staff here, I wasn't even fully funded, but stepping into being here, God has provided whenever I've had need. Also, in our ministry efforts, when first coming on staff here, we didn't know what would work. We didn't even quite know where to put all of our focus and energy on. And in the past year, my wife and I actually pioneered a new role, which is going to speak at youth groups and bringing youth teams in. And we didn't even know if it would work. We didn't even know if our homeless outreach would be effective. But since stepping out in faith, it has worked, and we have seen results. Because I'm seeking and following the direction God has given me to be here, great things have happened.
I think when it comes to the challenges in ministry, I think about our homeless outreach. It's been quite the journey. When I first joined YWAM Santa Cruz, the only thing we had going on was flipping burgers for the homeless community. It was really fun. We got to build relationships with people on the streets, and ever since then, the police will come by and move their encampments. So every couple months or once a year, the police will come and sweep their community, and so it feels like we have to start all over again. It has been really rewarding to be in relationship with these people because the Lord has a huge heart for the unhoused, but there has been challenges in finding them in town, and we've hiked up Highway 9 and we've had to look for our friends on the streets, but it has been really rewarding. But it can be very disappointing and discouraging at the same time when the people that you are pursuing in relationship for them to know Jesus, when they get moved around from place to place and you can't find them. So I think that's just been the biggest struggle and challenge for our ministry team here in Santa Cruz.
The importance of community has been something that's been pretty big for Rachel and I in the last year, especially. It can be really isolating. It can be really lonely to endure the difficulties and the questioning of ministry, especially pioneering ministry, when you don't have friends on the outside to reach out to. And even when you're not stewarding friends on the inside, like our own other staff members, well, it can get very lowly and it can get very challenging in ministry. So my advice for community in ministry and life in general is just pursue friendships and pursue partnerships. Don't be someone who thinks you can do it on your own, because you can't. God made us for community, and everything will work better when you're connected with those around you, both in your team and both people outside of where you're working or ministering in your life. Concerning teamwork, it's a very hard lesson for me. I'm constantly learning to delegate things and to trust other people on the team with projects or responsibilities, because I'm a perfectionist. I think I can do it all the best, and in reality, I can't. When we release that hold that we have on a project or in ministry, there becomes a diversity and a excellence that I could never, like you could never on your own have, because you're only one person and God made us also wonderfully and differently. My biggest recent leap in teamwork has been marriage. Being married has shown me so many things that I need to work on, has encouraged me so much. Rachel has been someone I can process with and really be a close, intimate, and strong team with. So ultimately, have community, don't forsake it, be intentional about it, and trust teams, trust partners, and don't be afraid to lean on them, because things will get done way better and you're going to grow, you're going to be more like Jesus, and whatever you're working on is going to be more excellent.
Yeah, when I think about my faith being impacted, I think about my DTS. YWAM Kansas City is very, very close to the International House of Prayer in Kansas City, and so that was part of our weekly routine and rhythm, was to go to the prayer house and to engage in their intercession sets. And I had no idea what it would look like, but I was excited. And I knew that when you go to an intercession set, you go to pray for something or somebody else. But this one was different. I remember showing up and worship was going and it was awesome. And the man who was leading the intercession time came up and got on the mic and was like, "Hey guys, we're not going to pray for anybody right now. Actually, I feel like God just wants to release a fresh revelation of his heart for us." And I was really moved by that because of just things that happened in my past with my personal relationship with my dad that had been super rocky in high school. It was really impactful to me that the Lord would first meet me and love on me and pursue relationship with me before I did anything for him. And I think that's been kind of a key point in my faith journey with the Lord, is that before I do anything for him or with him, relationship comes first. And I think that he really displayed his heart for me in that moment.
I guess to answer this, I'll share a recent story. One of the homeless people that we have been ministering to for about a year now, so taking sandwiches to, bringing teams downtown to minister to, he recently took the step to get clean and get into a program. It's such a joyful moment, and it's so awesome. We visited him twice now in the rehab facility, and the first time when Rachel saw him, he was overjoyed and just like, hey, look, I'm doing it. You showed up, you actually visited me. And this has been great because there is no one who actually cares the way we do for some of these unhoused people. And it's been awesome to be that part of Jesus to them and for them, and to actually become someone they call their friend and even say that they love. So yeah, just the persistence that we've had in our ministry has actually been fruitful, and it's really exciting to see God work through that. Another thing is that not only are the unhoused affected by our outreach, but those that we take on our outreach with us are affected. Starting with us, but also with the teams that we bring. Lots of the students that we bring on our outreaches afterwards report that before the ministry day, they kind of despised the homeless, didn't know how to approach them. And after, they had God's heart for them and saw them as real people and as people in need of Jesus, just the same as us.
I would say that there is a purpose to the way God created you. Don't abandon your personality or the gifts or the talents you have. I love taking personality tests. I took a ton in high school just to help me verbalize the things that I like, the things that I value, the way that I work well, the things that I don't work well in. And so my advice for you would be to take the personality test, take your spiritual strength finders test, because God made you with purpose, and there's a reason you are made that way. And so I can totally see now, just like in the work that I'm doing here with YWAM Santa Cruz, there are so many ways that God has purposefully lined up my character and my personality with the work that we're doing, and they go together. They don't clash. And so that would be my advice, is take all the tests, get to know who you are, how God made you, and work with that. Work with what he gave you, because I think they're supposed to go together. I think whatever career or ministry path you end up going into, your personality should promote that and should help you thrive in those environments.
My advice to you to find your own mission in life would be to be willing to give yourself up for the sake of the gospel, to not care how you look or even sometimes how you feel. And I'll share about that aspect, because something I struggle with and struggled with very recently is getting in my own head. When I become inward, I stop thinking and acting towards those around me in positive ways and for the kingdom of God. And all of a sudden, I find myself complaining. I find myself feeling depressed, and nothing works. So recently, I was feeling this for actually months, just feeling this weight and feeling unpassionate about even ministry work here, because of just this inward looking that I was finding myself stuck in. Just last week, I sat down with God and I cried out. I was like, God, I need help. I don't want to be like this. I don't want to feel like this. I want to be in my mission. I want to be where you've called me wholeheartedly. And he spoke to me and said, you've been complaining and you've been looking inwardly. I wrestled with that a bit, but I repented in the end. I was like, I don't want to look inwardly, even though I feel like I have good reason to be so self-focused and to complain about this and about that. Really, it's not helping me. It's not helping anyone. It's not helping me pursue the mission that you've given me. That would be my main encouragement, is to be willing to give up yourself, even down to how you're feeling, for the Lord and for the mission that he's placing in front of you.
I think when it comes to a balance in life and work with YWAM and my own faith journey with the Lord, it really just comes down to healthy rhythms and routines and spiritual disciplines in my life. Before I did my DTS in Kansas City, I did not read my Bible every day. It didn't really click until I joined staff at YWAM Maui, and it just became a part of my daily life, was to get up and to spend the first hour of my day with the Lord. Now, some days don't allow me to have an hour with the Lord, and that's totally fine. I think that's real life. I think that, life gets busy, things come up, but I think that when it comes to balance in life, definitely that space with Jesus comes first. Yeah, daily time with the Lord, those healthy rhythms, the balances, things that give you life, even what Daniel was talking about earlier with community. Like, find those friendships that bring you life, find those hobbies that bring you life, spend time in the Word, spend time in prayer, spend time in worship, just by yourself too. Those are the things that will really root you and keep you grounded in the midst of doing ministry, because like I said earlier, God is way more about relationship with you than you just doing things for him. So always maintain that relationship with God first. It's the thing that will keep you rooted in the long run.
One of the areas for my hopes and dreams is with our homeless outreach in Santa Cruz. To further and better reach the unhoused community is my dream, to see revival actually happen and a movement out of homelessness instead of everyone coming to Santa Cruz to be homeless is what I want to see, and I think what the Lord wants to do. God gave me a vision when I first started doing outreach to the homeless here in Santa Cruz 2 years ago. This vision was that I'm not the one to save the homeless of Santa Cruz County. Actually, the homeless people that we bring and lead to Jesus and they get saved and transformed, they're going to be the one. They're going to be the ones to save the homeless. They're going to be the ones that have the influence and the potential to actually make a huge impact and bring up so many people to salvation through Jesus. To continue ministering to the homeless and continue seeing lives changed by our relationship evangelism strategy is a big goal. Another goal, dream, hope is to see revival in the youth of Santa Cruz. I want youth to have the same opportunity and to have the same opportunity I had when I was in high school, to realize that the door is open to them for missions and the possibilities are endless. For me, it was evangelism and music ministry and a few other things that the Lord really said, hey, you can do these things, you can pursue these, and YWAM's your avenue, go for it. And I want the young people of Santa Cruz to have this missional vision for their life of, hey, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. I can do it. I can go for it. I don't have to do what society expects of me. I don't have to live the American dream. I can live my whole life for Jesus and whatever that looks like. So yeah, those are some hopes and dreams to reach the unhoused and to bring revival and to bring opportunity really to the youth of Santa Cruz.